Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing good. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. Give it some time for some people to hop on. I know I haven't done a live stream like this in a while, but we'll give it some time for some people to hop on. What's up, Mana? What's up, Crypto Gaga? What's up, Big Nick? Hope you guys are doing good. How'd everyone do this week? Green, red, comment down below. Let me know how you guys did, green or red. I had a very, very green week. If we have some time, we'll go over my positions and some things that I took and some things I did this week. Also hit the like button too. That definitely helps to get things out there. Is this video public? Yes, it is. It is public. All right, I was making sure. But yeah, so, thank you guys for stopping by, giving me your time. Truly means the world to me. Like even 10-15 minutes a day to be in your guys' ear is really, really big for me. I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Green, green, green. Let's go. Yeah, the market really, really strong, honestly. Basically, everything over the past couple of months has been happening exactly as we expected. I want to start doing one of these live streams a week, just because a lot of the times, like within the short videos that I make, you guys can't get a better understanding of like what makes my brain tick, what makes me actually take specific trades. I don't really get to answer questions. There's so many comments, like I can't go through every comment. I monitor them and watch them, but like I just can't respond to every comment. Be in my ear all day. Thank you. But yeah, so that's what this time is for. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about or anything you want me to look at, any stocks, please let them put them in the comments or the chat section. If I have time, I will get to all of them. If I can't, then we'll see what happens. Sometimes there's like 40 people on these streams. Sometimes there's like 250 people concurrent. So we'll see what happens. I don't think there's gonna be more than like 100, but we'll see. So if you have anything you want me to look at, put it down in the chat section. If not, I'm just going to go through. We'll do Tesla as I always do. And we'll also go over the overall market, talk about some of the trades we ended up making this week, and kind of break all that down. So yeah, let's get started. So let's start with Tesla. Very first thing, I only took 2 positions on this week. If you guys remember, back in November, if any of you guys have been following me that long, back in November, we were talking about overall, we thought that we were going to have a really, really strong Q4 last quarter. So November or October, November, December, which we did. Not as strong as I thought there was, but I still thought it was going to be pretty strong. And then we were going to, where's the video? You guys, are you able to see the stream? You guys should be able to see the stream. I believe so. If you can't see a stream, let me know. We live already. Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure. Yeah, we should be live. So if you guys remember Q4, talked about Q4 last year. Reload it should be good. Awesome. But yeah, so we were talking last year about Q4, thinking Q4 is going to be really strong, which it was. I thought we were going to see a little bit better of a Q4, but whatever. Talked about Q1 being really, really bad, like it has been. And then we talked about strong Q2. And if you guys look here too, especially with the S&P 500, like over the past 12 years, really, really strong April, really, really strong May. Trend Spider for some reason is going to be super slow now because I'm trying to use it on a stream. But April, 92% of the time, the S&P 500 is up, and May is also a really, really good month. So overall, like everything is expecting, that's the goal. And if you guys are part of the premium group, or if you're just a part of the Discord and you see me post my trades and my profits, we have been profitable every single month. So even in January, February, and all of March, we're up. So as of last week, I only made $5,000 this month. Today or this week, I'm up $7,000. So we're up about 12,400. Hopefully next week is good. But even in February, we made $20,000. So just because the market is sketchy doesn't mean you can't make money. Do you have to take better trades? Do you have to trade differently? Of course. I completely changed my trading strategy in Q2, focused a lot on selling cash secured puts. If you guys want me to talk about cash secured puts, let me know. I can do that, whatever you guys want me to talk about. Tesla on the daily, we saw this big descending wedge here, a huge descending wedge. and we saw this really good bullish divergence. We saw a breakout here on March 16th with a very strong move up to about 900, which we were talking about for a bit. 900 is a very, very strong resistance for Tesla. 900, 950, 1000, all very strong supports, which are going to be very strong resistances. And so that's what we saw. Saw this push up, saw this run through 936, which I did not expect to happen. I thought we were going to tap like 930, 940, pull back down to like 880, and then see another move back up. But since then, we have really pushed up. I still think Tesla is going to pull back. I ended up losing the money. So I took like a $300 call credit spread here, and I ended up losing the $300, which is whatever. We closed at 10.10, and I thought we were going to close under 1,000, but that's part of the game. But I ended up making about 500 earlier within the week. I know you hate weekly options, but when you see heavy buying coming in on Black Box, would you do a weekly call options and just close them same day, or go the extra week? That's a really, really good question. So here's the thing. It depends. So it depends on the market. So if you guys haven't, I'll just link this to you in the testimonial section. If none of you guys know how I really trade, I obviously have courses and stuff on it, but this is just a good little example. I'll put this in the chat section for you guys on like how I read flow and how I dissect flow. So when there's good flow, it doesn't mean the flow has to work out. So for instance, like this morning, if we look at Microsoft had huge calls expiring today, right? These, if you were to hold till close, you would have made a 28% return. Now, I day traded this a bunch of times today, but there's a lot of times where it doesn't work this way, right? AMD, these calls, it would have made 15%, which is not bad. Apple had some that probably you would have lost money. But at the end of the day, like if there's a weekly Big Nick, what I normally do is if it's early in the week, I might follow the calls, but it depends on the market. If the market is not in a good state, I usually follow with shares. Okay. If the market is in a good state, I usually follow with calls, but I go an extra week, right? So instead of going like this morning, you'll see the massive difference in trades. But this morning I traded Microsoft, and I day traded it with something that expired today, right? As soon as that flow came through on Microsoft, I hit it. 49% in 10 minutes, $1,000 profit. This one I actually followed to a T, and I even told everybody in the premium group, like, don't follow me on this. Even if I make money, it's stupid. But then, like with these AMDs, I went a week out further. So if I go to my positions without like giving away everything, the AMD position I went in, so 120 calls is the AMD position I went in, when really the ones that came through were like 325, 120 calls. Normally I go at least a week out, but it depends because for an instance, let's look at like Intel, right? Intel, I see Edge Trades is asking me about this. Intel I called out yesterday, and we had big buys on Intel, or 2 days ago, I'm sorry, big buys on Intel, and I ended up grabbing shares. I did very, very well with shares, but then I ended up closing it out. But if I would have followed that position on Intel, the one that I called out 2 days ago, this is on Wednesday, at 11:54 a.m., we would have closed out 1,600% profits yesterday. It's fucking nuts, right? So most of the time, I don't buy weeklies simply because it's just not worth the risk. When you're trading a weekly option, you have to be perfect with your timing, right? Unless the stock just goes like parabolic. Like you have to be perfect. My goal is it's very hard to be perfect all the time. So I don't want to put myself in a situation where I have to be perfect all the time. I want the most room for me to screw up as humanly possible because that makes sense. Nick Kroll, I just changed my name up. I know those NVIDIA calls were killer last week for 800%. Yeah, and the NVIDIA calls yesterday, I'll go back. I posted them yesterday, hypothetically. So the NVIDIA calls that we called out the day before, 2,255% return, which is insane. That's like a $500 position could have made you 10 grand. But 99% of the time that doesn't happen. Thoughts on Intel Edge? I'm not touching Intel anymore. I took the position. I called it out with the group. We were watching this 1 hour. I was watching the breakthrough 49. We saw the breakthrough 49. If you watch the 4 hour, we broke right through resistance here. And if we're looking at the daily, we're up on 200 SMA. 200 SMA is usually always a big resistance. So for me, I'm okay with just taking the profits. I personally wouldn't be touching Intel here. It looks like it can continue to run to 53, but for me, this is where I would be walking away personally. Do you think Tesla wants to go back to 1200 then pull back? I don't think it's going to go straight to 1200 and pull back. Like personally, I still believe with what I said earlier. I think we'll reject here and I think we'll end up pulling back to 950. I still stand by that. It's taking a bit, but I still stand by that. I can't see us run back to 1200 this quick. We need to cool down a bit. But I do think ultimately we will get back up to 1200. Any tickers you guys want, throw them out. Any questions on put credit spreads, debit spreads, like anything like that, throw it out. Hit the like button too, because that helps. Love your thoughts on ALL, MRO, and Bristol Myers. Been setting new all-time highs each day. Let's take a look at BMY. BMY is a savage. I don't know if you guys, if anybody is in the premium group, but Big Money was buying Bristol Myers like long-term calls back at like $58 in November. You'd be up massively. Bristol Myers, if you're trading this or if you have like long-term calls, I would honestly like just end up not talking. Like I would just walk away and not even trade this anymore. Like I wouldn't even like talk about that because at this point Bristol Myers is doing really, really well. But the daily RSI is really, really, really overbought. And honestly, I would just be taking my profits at this point. Even the weekly RSI is all the way up at 75. When you look at the risk versus reward at this point, I wouldn't touch it. Or I would just be taking profits. You can hold if you have a position, but then from there I'd walk away. Do you ever shout out puts? Yeah, I do trade puts. It's not a lot though. I was putting hedges in place in February, but I don't really trade puts most of the time because the market goes up 99% of the time. So I just trade with the trend. What were some of the other ones you were looking at? MRO and ALL. Let's take a good look. MRO, same situation. Not bad. Divergence, bearish divergence on the daily. So we made a higher high here on March 8th, followed by a higher high today, yet the RSI is lower. I would probably be taking my profits there. Oh, this is a really good. All right, so this is really good, Danny. We'll talk about that in a minute. I don't ever want to trash other people, but we'll talk about that in a second. And ALL. ALL, I would definitely take this. I would walk away from this as well. Great trade, great profit. I would be taking profits though. Are we allowed to talk about premium positions? Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you're talking about like the premium role, yeah, you can talk about positions if you want. I mean, we can do that. How much room do you give your options before you cut? I've gotten hurt a few times and they've gone against me, always thinking they would turn. Okay, this is a really good question, Nick. I don't run any stop losses. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I know that if you cannot control emotion, you need to set stop losses. Like, the easiest way to explain this to anybody who is newer, everyone here, what's your average win? Money-wise, what's your average win? If you were to just take like the past 15 trades that were winners, what's the average win you have from a monetary standpoint? Past 15 trades, what's the average win you have as far as money is considered? If it's like $10, it's not a big deal. $20. All right, Martin, Danny. Okay, so what's your, now, if you don't want to share, you don't have to. Okay, what's your average loss? So if your average win's 20, what's your average loss? Or anybody. What I'm trying to say is that 90% of people, their average loss will be double what they gain. Okay, so Martin, you're fine, right? Your average gain is $20, average loss is $10. But what you see most of the time is I'm down 16 grand in 6 months. Okay, we'll talk about how to recover from something like this because I get a lot of messages like this. What I'm trying to say is back when I first started trading, I would do really, really well. And I noticed my average win was like $300, and I was right 80% of the time. 80% of the time, I'd make about $300 to $500. My average loss was like $1,500. You can't make money like that, right? You can't make money like that. Now, the other issue is big money knows how to screw with people, right? They know how to purposely drive a stock through support, quickly buy it back up, ram a stock through resistance, drop it below, and they purposely do this, which is why I don't run hard stop losses. When I take a straight up options call or an options put, I don't plan to set a stop loss. I plan to let that thing expire most of the time. Worthless. Because from when I follow like a big money trade, they pick that. They pick that specific position and that specific date for a reason. So I'm following it and just going to give it the time it needs. Rig is a very, very good example, right? This is a trade I called out 2 weeks ago. They bought calls expiring today. I was buying it down at 436. I closed it because it wasn't moving. I was down 30%. I closed it, and look what happens today. It rips 14%. I would have made like 145% on my money. So what I do is whenever I take an options position, I expect to lose all of that money. Right now I'm trading with about $221,000. And if I take like a call, it's only going to be like $800 because I expect to lose all that money. That's not that big relative to the amount of money, like the trade that I have. And my goal is 1% a week. Let me see. Do you ever shout out puts, Danny? Sometimes I do, like I said. How much room? So going back, hang on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Going back, I don't really give them room, but Nick, what I would say is do this. If you're trading straight up options, either one, only risk what you are completely okay with losing, or number two, give yourself like a 30% stop loss or something like that. What do you think about Lucid? Let's take a look. Sorry guys, I'm still going through other ones, but continue to ask questions and we'll go through them. What do I think about Lucid? Not a lot of volume, up over 25, 4 hour. You're fighting the trend here, which is what I don't like. Lucid doesn't look bad. It looks like we're going to bounce to 25 and move to 30, but I don't like going against the trend. It's not something I would take. But it doesn't look too shabby. I was in another Discord. Okay, this is a really good example. I was in another Discord where they were playing mainly puts, and I'm down 50%. Okay, this is great, guys. This is what I'd say to everybody: make the game easier. Right? When I go to the casino, I only play blackjack and I only play 3-card poker because those are the only games where you have a slight edge. I think blackjack you have like a 51% edge, right? So if the market goes up 95 to 98% of the time, why would you ever trade against it? I don't. I mean, because everyone's trying to time the top. For the past 5 years, everyone says to me, the market shouldn't be going up. Now we have hyperinflation. Russia's invading China. We have XYZYY. I understand that. Like, I know the market shouldn't be going up, but it is. So I'm going to trade with the trend. And even in February where the market went down, all I did was take less bullish positions and put some hedges in. So what happens is everyone's trying to flip-flop as fast as they humanly can. In February, how many people here, be completely honest, there's 78 of us or whatever, how many of you guys in February sold your bullish positions and grabbed puts? And then as soon as you grabbed puts, the market recovered and you lost your ass? It happens a lot. I am never trying to predict. I want to throw that out there. As a trader, I see so many people who are like, who are long-term investors, which like good for you, who are like, oh, you can't predict the stock market. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen next. I'm trying to use probabilities to figure out where the market will go based on old data. It's the same situation, right? I'm not trying to time a reversal here most of the time. I'm just trying to play with what the market is giving me. Don't make the game harder for yourself. That's why I mainly sell cash secured puts, because it's freaking easy. You win money 86% of the time. Why would I not do it? It's not a ton of money, but still, you know what I mean? But yeah, Danny, honestly, I would say I use puts to hedge a position. That's the only time I personally do it. Unless we're in like a long-standing bear market, where like we're in a legit bear market, which we haven't had. Everyone's like the bear market, like even that crash in 2020 was not a bear market, right? Like a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of down GDP, which we haven't had. This is great information. Thank you. XOM, Nitin, I took a couple of positions on XOM. I ended up closing them. I do like XOM, but I think that the position, if you didn't get the in down at 78, long story short, I wouldn't enter it. If you're in it, I personally might hold, but I just closed my position. How about Roblox? Let's take a look. RBLX. My mouse is like super laggy today. What pattern is this? Every pattern is not perfect. Gold star for anybody who can tell me. Dude, why is my mouse doing this? All right, gold star for anyone who can tell me this pattern. I'll say neckline right there. Gold star for anyone who can tell me what that is. IHS, boom, yeah, inverted head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. What do you guys notice over here? Another gold star. What do you notice from 48 up to 65? What do we notice within this area about the volume profile? What do you notice about Roblox volume profile? No volume, which means low volume to no volume. What does that mean? Is it easy or hard to move through that area? Easy spike. Let's go. Rocket. Yeah, hell yeah. Boom. Gold star for everybody. I like Roblox. Once again, I don't like trying to time a bottom, but to me, this is worth it, right? I don't want to time the bottom, but there's a lot of good things here, right? Inverted head and shoulders, thin area of volume up to the volume profile, potential gap fill. To me, this is worth it. And you guys have to realize when I take a position, I'm not planning on making money. I'm just taking a position that looks good. So let's say conservatively, you were to enter this position here today. You were to set a take profit between 67 and 70 and a stop loss down at 40. So you're risking 14% to make a potential 47%. I'll take that all freaking day. Yeah, Roblox looks good. Let's see. Let's go back up. How much money did I start with? Oh, I'm down 16K to 6 months. Okay, biggest thing I would say, Danny, just chill, take super small positions, get your confidence back up. Because here's the thing, if you have 10 grand and you die down to 5 grand, you need to make 100% return just to get back from the 50% loss. How much money did you start with? 5 grand in 2013? Jesus Christ, it has been that long. Yeah, 2013 and 5 grand. Now I'm up to like 220. I did drop 50 grand back into the market in like the beginning of February, but like I don't believe in dumping a shitload of money into the market. I'd rather put other things into like real estate, business, etc., etc. Because trading with a lot of money is not as easy as you think. It's really not. Mentally, it's a bitch. How do we feel about Billy and ZS? BILI, I don't have tons of conviction on either of these, but BILI doesn't look bad. Holding the 11 EMA, big money coming through. Not a lot of volume up to 66. So I'm going to hold on to this. Same situation with ZS. I was going to close this today because I was actually up, but same thing with ZS. Holding this EMA, 22, little volume all the way up to 254. So I'm expecting a push to 254. That's where I'll be looking to get out. I set my goal $200 per day. I've been doing good, usually morning, afternoon, 12 p.m. Esperanza, what I would say, $200 a day is a really good goal, but I would say, honestly, don't look at a daily goal, look at a weekly or look at a monthly goal, because there's just going to be days you don't hit the goal, right? So I like to do weekly and monthly. My goal is 4% a month, and I hit that in a week. So yay for me, but I might have a bad week next week, who knows? When I go on a losing streak, I start doing spreads to get back up, building my confidence back up, and I repeat the process. I do that too. If I'm on a losing streak, sometimes I just don't trade. You know what I mean? Kenneth, is Billy like rig? Potentially could be, but I'm going to hold it for like 2 weeks and we'll see what happens. It could be like a late bloomer, but sometimes big money's just wrong. Like, dude, someone bought 1 year out a firm calls $67 million worth when it was trading at $100, and now that it's worthless. So, you know, shit happens. This month I'm up over 4K. Account's very small. Fuck yes, good stuff. I just need one good position, and that's good. Very nice. Zen Wei Tan, is Neo a good trade? Inverted head and shoulders, holding support. I don't like it, honestly. It doesn't look bad, but like I said, you're going against the grain here, and I don't like trying to go against the grain. Just because the stock has had the shit kicked out of it doesn't mean it has to bounce, you know? How have you been making out with the Golden Cross strategy? Nick, I actually stopped it because I felt that with the current state of the market, it is not a good time to test a new strategy. You know what I mean? Speaking of Vegas, what do you think of Wynn and MGM? Good question. So Wynn Resorts, a lot of people, big money has been buying banks, and they've been buying travel. A lot of Delta, a lot of AAL, Melco as well. Wynn Resorts, I just don't want to invest in a Chinese company ever again, even though I think BILI has some Chinese companies, like, or is a Chinese company. The thing with Wynn is like the biggest product they have is the place in Macau, and like after so many times I've been burnt, I'm just not a fan. As far as a trade, we are on this support. Honestly though, it's not something, I think there's just better trades out there. Someone asked about Apple. I'm sorry too, I forgot those earlier. Apple has had an insane amount of buys. Like, big money's been buying the shit out of this. But for me, if you're not already in, I wouldn't hold. I think it's gonna be good, but I wouldn't start a position now. I use your strategy of puts, and the 86% is true. Let me see. Head and shoulders, Wyckoff, low volume, easy spike, little resistance. I don't deal with stop losses either, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't either, because there's so many times where there's false breakouts. You know what I mean? So, hang on. Sorry, I just sneezed. There's so many times where, like, the fuckery that occurs, it's just not worth it for me. So, like, I don't usually run tight stops anymore. HYMC and Reed. HYMC. Honestly, not something I would touch, personally. Big push up, looking like a probably going to be a bear trap, and we're going to probably see a drop down. I wouldn't touch this, honestly. REED. It's also a penny stock. Same situation with REED, just not enough volume to do anything. It's too easy to manipulate something like this. Mana, I remember that. A firm, yeah, I'm still down like, I think 10 grand on a firm. I was down like 40 grand, but I averaged down a little bit. Just got below Roblox shares. Good stuff. Any thought on ENPH? We can also go over some of the trades I took this week if you guys are interested. ENPH. I've never charted this on here. I'm like constantly hopping between platforms. Resistance here, low volume, above 200. Okay, let's talk about this. Up on resistance, low volume on the volume profile, above 200. What is one thing I don't like about this? I'll zoom in so you guys can see. What do you guys think is the one thing that I don't like going up into this resistance? What do we need in order to break out through a resistance? I'm on like my 5th cup of coffee today. It's pretty bad. What do we need in order to break out through a resistance? No wrong answers. Low volume, no volume. So yeah, we need volume. So it has low volume. That's why I don't like it. We need volume, right? We need volume to come in to push this thing through a resistance. The easiest way to tell something is going to reject is by watching the volume as it comes to resistance. Apple is a very good example here, but like for instance, look at this candle here, and then look at the dip in volume here, right? If we had like a heavy volume day with this candle coming into a breakout, that's normally how you can tell we have low volume. Personally with, who was that? Was that ENPH, right? Yeah. It doesn't look bad, but once again, nothing I'm a huge fan of. If we do break out, it can easily hit 260. RSI is trending overbought too. Run DLC. Do you have any courses on charting? Yeah, and the best part is they're free. Yeah, so I have like a 60-hour course lecture that like is part of the mentorship group, and that's $100 a month, and then you get to live stream with me every day and take my trades and all that. If you want just my trades, it's $25 a month. If you join the Discord, the link is in the description. You guys get access to all the trades. It's like $25 a month, or you can just join for free. There's a ton of free content and stuff there. But here is a link. I just dropped it here for Esperanza and Run DLC and anybody. It's a free course. This course is literally breaking down everything about how I chart, all my indicators, how I put volume profiles on, like literally everything. No bullshit. You're not signing your life away or any of that shit. It's just completely for free because I get so many people who ask me, and it's just easy to be like, here's a course. You know what I mean? But yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. Let's see. Roblox, and ENPH. When is a good time for us to load up on Tesla? 9:50. That's what I'm waiting for. Danny, thank you. I appreciate it. I would have joined your premium sooner. It's all good. Now you're here, so thank you. Gonna upgrade my membership here. Not that comfortable doing call splits yet. Would you be giving recommend entry or exit and entry points? Yeah. So like, I don't recommend 90% of people trading like calls and puts. Like, let me put this out here. It is pretty hard to blow your account up trading shares. It is really easy to blow your account up trading options. Like, if you have $2,000, even though you're not gonna make a ton of money trading shares, right? Like, it's pretty hard to lose 50% in a week, unless you're like, you know, buying some crazy stuff. So I always recommend shares. Like, gosh, I posted this video. Let me just go. You can go to my Instagram. I think my Instagram is in the link. But if you go to my Instagram, I posted a story about like the recap of all of my trades this week. And I posted like a little 5-minute video basically just saying like, I make this look easy, but I've been doing this every single day, no days off, 8 hours a day for the past 8 years. Like, time in front of the computer and time just trading is so underappreciated, right? Like, don't worry about making money right now. Nobody should. Who here has been trading for less than 2.5 years, 3 years? Who's been trading for less than 2 or 3 years? Right? Probably most people. If you've been trading less than 3 years, don't even worry about making money. 2 months, dude, don't even worry about it. Like, the goal is not to make money. The goal is to create a trading system and follow a trading system to a T that gives you the results that you want. If you follow a trading system and create a trading system that works, the goal or the outcome is the fact that you will make money, right? It's kind of like, I don't know if anyone here follows Alex Hormozy. I freaking love that guy. He actually put a video out today talking about the way to, I think it was like 2 days ago or whatever, but like, don't think about your goal, think about the actions. Like, what would blank do? When you guys are trading, think to yourself, what would Peter do? Like what would Peter do in this situation? Because the goal is like not to make money. The goal is just to trade well. If you trade well, you will make money. And that's why I don't care when I lose. Like, I lost $300 on Tesla today. Who cares? Like, it's just, like, don't rush to make money. Don't rush. Just learn. Because once you learn the skill and you become proficient at it, you got the rest of your life to do this. And you can make some serious money afterwards. WWPD. I'll make some bracelets for you guys. But yeah, that's what I say. Don't worry about making money. You have any courses on charting? And we went that. Would you please look at AQMS and share your thoughts on the chart? Let's do it up. AQMS. I've been doing this for 5 years and still not comfortable with options. I mean, that's completely fine though. Like, you don't, I mean, I don't really trade them much. And to be quite honest here, like, if I didn't have a trading community, I would probably only sell cash secured puts and look for like a 55% return a year. That's about it. Like, I say this all the time, but let's just do compound interest calculator. Money chimp. It's like my favorite thing to do. And we'll look at some tickers, right? But let's say that you have like $2,500 and every year you can put in $6,000. Like, let's just say you have a Roth IRA. You have $6,000 untaxed money. You can put $6,000 a year, which is like what, $500 a month in or something. And you can give that bad boy 25 years to grow. And let's say all you do is sell cash secured puts, or you focus on 1% a week, and you can make an average of 52% return per year, which 56% is my average return selling cash secured puts. In 25 years, it is $827 million untaxed because it's a Roth IRA. In 10 years, it's not going to be nearly as much, but in 10 years, you have $1.5 million. We're not in a rush, right? We're not in a rush. Everyone will lie to you and say you are. Like, take my new indicator, and like, we're not in a rush here, right? It took me 8 years to go from $5,000 to 220, but now this year I'll go from 220 to 400, from 400 to like 650, and like just boom, 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 compounding year over year. And my goal is $2.5 million in cash in my account, and I'd sell cash secured puts for 50% a year, even 35% a year. The government will take half of that and I can live off of the rest. It's more than fine. But don't focus on money, honestly. I was definitely in a rush. I mean, we all are. Because like, here's the thing. And this is like one thing nobody talks about. And this is the space I want to command. It's just that nobody gives a shit because, I mean, I like talking about Tesla, but that's the only thing that gets pushed by the algorithm, which is why I do it. Because I want to get my voice out to more ears. But here's the thing, right? Like, here's the truth. We as a society are not prepared to be active participants in the stock market. We simply aren't. Our entire life, we go to school, we have our hand held, we're told what to do. We are told that if you do blank, you will get X grades. We go into a job or into college where the same situation happens. You have a boss, the boss has a boss, there's a regional boss, and you're constantly being watched and told what to do. Then you get thrown in the stock market and you're like a wild animal. You have nobody telling you what to do. You're finally in charge, and we think that that's what we want, but we become our own demise. We actually destroy ourselves. And that's what hedge funds and big money want to happen. They want us to be emotional. They want us to be greedy. It's our human nature, right? It's our human nature to do stupid shit. Like, it just is. And so it's like, a lot of people don't realize that. Like, your emotional, like, psychologically, your emotional state is the most important thing when you're trading. It really is. Smash the like button. Thank you, guys. But yeah, so your emotional state, your psychology is the most important thing. Thoughts on Hood. Let's take a look at Hood. AQMS, looking like it's probably gonna push to 175, but I wouldn't touch it, honestly. I don't like penny stocks. Hood, I would not touch, honestly. I think it's undervalued. Dude, I should have got some at $9. But you're going against the grain again. Right, you're going against the grain. I personally wouldn't touch it unless you're investing in it long term. But being that Tesla closed at 10.10, you don't have to buy 100 shares. No, I just lost the money I put up. It's not a big deal. Let me see. Somebody asked a really good question. 2 years, and this has been rough. Here's the thing. My first 2.5 years were the toughest. And then like out of nowhere, something just clicked. Like after 2.5 years, something clicked. And the thing that clicked, and it doesn't click until it happens to you, is that, oh, I don't have to be right all the time. See, I would only take a trade, and every single time I took a trade, I expected to make money. When I started taking trades for the fact of taking a trade as opposed to trying to make money, my whole perspective shifted, and I actually made more money. And that's my goal here on YouTube as well, right? There's so many people who have more subscribers than me, but I'll be around in 10 years. You know what I mean? I got patience in this game. 3 weeks trading. Damn, Kirk. Well, dude, keep it up. I'm not in a rush, remember. New to this stream. What's up, Sam? Thank you. I've been doing this 5 years. Great info. Easy to trade. Too fast and bad. Yeah, it's so easy to trade. There's no requirements to become a trader. And that's what I love about the market. The market doesn't give a shit about the color of your skin, your sexual preference, if you're a felon, if you have a criminal record, how much money you have, your background. Money and the market does not care. But just as easy as it is to start up a broker and throw $100 in, it's just as easy as to get your ass handed to you. Do you trade crypto? I do not trade any crypto at all. No. 2 reasons. Number one, I like sleeping. I couldn't trade anything that's constantly moving, so I don't trade futures. And number 2, I don't trade crypto because I don't know it the way I know the market. And I'm one of those people, like, there's 2 schools of thoughts. There's a school of thought is turn your weaknesses into your strengths. I'm the opposite. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to like quadruple down on my strengths. So I just focus on what I know and become proficient in it. So I don't really trade crypto. Personally, I feel like a dinosaur, but like, I don't care or want to care about NFTs or crypto, or it's just not for me. It doesn't make me happy. Wow, that's big of you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. And it doesn't make me excited. Like, I'm only going to trade things that make me excited. Crypto doesn't excite me. Real estate excites me. Starting a business and teaching about business, like, that excites me, but crypto doesn't. First few days of your chat room have been awesome. Friendly people willing to help, absolutely upgrading next week. Thank you, Sam. And that's the goal. So for anybody who's not in the group, you can go check out our Discord down below. It's completely free. And that's the goal of the group, is like, when I first started trading, I realized there is so much dog shit out there. And it's all like super cheap, right? But and most of them are terrible. But there's also a lot of great communities out there, but they're all super expensive, right? They like hide behind a wall. And I've had my mentor tell me, like, dude, you should not make a free Discord, and you should not have $25 a month for your like, you should be charging way more. And I'm like, no, because I could have saved myself such time and such headache when I started trading if I had the community that I've built. And so that's why I do it. Oh, Jim, the call. So here's the thing. So if I did sell a straight up normal call, I would have to sell my Tesla shares. But because it's a spread, I don't have to, right? Because at the end of the day, that's like my insurance policy. So when you actually set it up as a credit spread or as a vertical, you don't have to do that. But thank you, Sam. It means a lot. Yeah, I love the community. It's phenomenal. I'm in commercial real estate, Jason. Yo, let's go. Hell yeah. I do. I love real estate, man. I really do. I just don't have, I sold all the properties except for the place I'm living in now. I got rid of a couple of duplexes, but I don't really, I want to buy something else. I just don't have the time. Like, I really enjoy doing all the work myself. I still have the time, but I want to pretty soon. Potentially at some point, I would like to start a real estate syndicate at some point, but we'll see what happens. I like sleeping. Thanks for answering that. I do love sleeping. I sleep like 9 hours a day. Trading with the group is comforting and following Pete is exciting. Thank you. But here's the thing too, like, I'm wrong a lot. So that's why position sizing is the most important thing, right? Like, position sizing is so important. This week, I hit on every single trade except for BILI and ZS, which I'm still holding, so they're not realized gains or losses yet. But, like, I don't always hit. And that's why, like, not throwing the kitchen sink at every trade is a good move. Because it's like spreading it out. Like, you know, don't put your eggs in one basket. It's like that. Imagine if you had a farm. Like, would you put all the seeds in one pot to grow, or would you like put 100 seeds out in the farm? Like, that's what we're doing here. How do you feel about Elliott waves as far as predicting where a stock should be? I have not used Elliott waves in a very, 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 very long time. Maybe I'll mess around with them again. But my trading mentor that taught me, I think he uses Elliott waves a lot of fib retracements and extensions too. I try to keep things simple. Honestly, like, even as much as I have on my charts right now, I would take most of it off. Like, in reality, if I could only have three indicators, it would be volume profile, RSI, 200 SMA. That's all I need. Thanks for fighting for the community. Means a lot, man. Thank you. Can you please explain how SPY 500 works? Does Apple, Tesla need to go down for SPY to go down? It's a really good question. So, yeah, so does anybody not know what an ETF is, or how does an ETF work? Does anybody here not know how an ETF works? I can explain it briefly. SPY Holdings. Here. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to iShares. That's the BlackRock one. Okay. Let me see something. The easiest way to do this will just be logging in. Can you guys fuck? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see my Thinkorswim. Okay. I don't really know. This is a really good example. All right, but let's go through this. I don't want, whatever. I don't think you guys can see me logging into my Thinkorswim. If you do, don't hack me. I'm a good guy. Okay. All right. So the way that an ETF works, ETF means an exchange traded fund. Okay. So basically, instead of picking your own stocks, you can buy an ETF. An ETF is like a basket of stocks, right? So SPY is not the S&P. So let's just talk about SPY, not the index. Let's just talk about SPY itself, right? God, I can't get this on. Maybe I can. I'm trying to look at the weight on my Thinkorswim, but I can't share my Thinkorswim with you. Fundamentals, SPY. Okay. 30, let's do this. Save top 20 holdings. SPY. Can I? Is this gonna work? Boom. Okay, cool. Sorry. There we go. This should work. I don't know if you guys can be able to see all this. So an ETF is an exchange traded fund. Basically, it is a folder. So instead of buying one stock, you can buy one ticker that holds a bunch of stocks. So if you don't want to pick your own stocks and your own companies, you can buy an ETF. It's probably blurry, but whatever. This right here is the top 20 holdings of the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies, right, in the S&P. So that's the Standard & Poor's Index in SPY. So when you're buying SPY, you are buying one ticker, one ETF that encompasses 500 companies. Now, does anybody know what weight means? Or does anyone not know what weight means? Let me know if you don't know what weight is, and we'll talk about that. I haven't talked about fundamental investing in so long. All right, so weight just means how much of the stock is in the portfolio or is inside of the ETF. So every single company is not equal, right? Every company is not equal. So in the S&P 500, 7% of the S&P 500 is Apple. 6% is Microsoft. 3.5% is Amazon. 2% is Tesla. Google is 2%. Or 4%. I'm sorry. Nvidia is 1.7. So you can look at this. Apple is 6. 6 is 12. 12 is 15. 19. So 25% of the S&P 500 is Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google. So that's why when you see those stocks move, the S&P 500 is mainly comprised of those stocks. So yes, if those go down, SPY goes down, etc., because they are heavily weighted. Is it true that the indexes are close to their resistance and may have a downtrend to meet new lows? I don't think so, no. A lot of them short-term are at resistance, but I don't think we're going to drop. This is so much information I didn't know. Yep, that's why, this is a really good example. ARKK. You guys remember when, or ARQ. You guys remember when ARK and Cathie Wood was like all over the place? Or ARK, is it ARKK? What's the big one everyone pays? ARKK. Okay, so you guys remember how like ARK, I don't know if like people are still all about it, but ARK was like massive. Well, the reason it was down so heavily is because of the companies that were in it. ARKK Holdings. ARK funds. Okay, let's go down. Let's take a look at what's in the fund. Okay, top 10 holdings. Tesla is 10%. Teladoc is 6%. Roku is 6%. Zoom is 6%. Coinbase is 6%. Okay, how has Coinbase, Zoom, and Roku been performing? Right? Zoom has fallen off of a cliff. Right? Roku has fallen off of a cliff. And what was the other one? Teladoc has fallen off of a cliff. What has happened to ARKK? It's fallen off of a cliff. Because this is its top holdings. Also, it's Twilio too. So that's how an ETF works. What indicators do you recommend? Angel, I use an 11 EMA, a 22 EMA, a 200 SMA, an RSI, a MACD, and a volume profile. I think you just need a volume profile and a 200 SMA. And an RSI if you really want. Facebook for Monday. Let's take a look. And then I'm going to hop off. My voice is like fucking shot. Did have some good buys. I think Facebook's going to pump next week to 240. All right, guys, hit the like button. Thank you for all the support. Check out the Discord down below. Link is in the description. Come and join us. It's completely free. Tons of free courses, tons of free live streams. Go to the courses and seminars section. If you do want, you can upgrade from there. Just go into the Discord and hit the upgrade, and you get access to all my trades, all of Tommy's trades. Tommy's been fucking killing it, and so is Callan. So if you guys want access to all those, go check them out. Thank you guys for everything. Truly means the world to me. So happy for everything. And yeah. Have a good day. Peace.